So I have some questions in regards to the section that talks about vote harvesting. And so, I mean, because to me, some of the language, I mean, it seems a very broad.
Let me catch up to you real quick. Which section?
I'm sorry, 276.
Page 15.
Oh, page 15.
I'm there. Thank you.
So we look at number 1, right, where that portion starts, and it says benefit means anything reasonably regarded as a gain or advantage, right? And then it kind of goes into some things. What standard is that reasonably regarded by whom?
A reasonable standard is always an objectively reasonable standard by a reasonable person. This is a fictional reasonable person, right?
So it's objective.
Yes, it's an objective.
So if somebody says, "Oh, I think that person is harvesting votes," I mean, is that something that you guys investigate just because somebody thinks that somebody's harvesting votes, or do they actually have to see physical activity in order for that allegation for you guys to pursue it or investigate it?
Yeah, good question. The vast majority of our complaints come to us through official channels, the Secretary of State's office, to a lesser degree, local prosecutors and law enforcement, and elections administrators. And those offenses are, I think, pre-screened, if you will, for the things that you're looking for. We also are required under the code, under Chapter 273.001, to accept and investigate complaints from registered voters that file 2 affidavits. So they have to be willing to swear to information. That information has to at least allege a criminal offense. If it doesn't allege a criminal offense, we're not going to look at it.
And so these are people that are saying that they saw this activity occur, and they're filling out this affidavit saying that they attest to that.
It could be a combination of being a firsthand witness and having documents and or other evidence of an offense.
And how often would you say that those investigations where somebody was attesting right through this affidavit, how often would you say that those actually rise to the level where there's actually evidence that proves voter fraud?
It's a very small percentage of the complaints that we receive in the first place, and I don't know what the exact number would be. We'd be taking a very, very small section and then trying to split it, and I don't know what the answer would be on the percentages.
And then, so in that same sentence, and it says, okay, regarded as a gain or advantage, right? Would you say that somebody would have a gain or advantage if you're a family member or a friend? So, like, let's say because your family, they want you to win your election.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be considered a gain or advantage? Or, hey, I would want John Busey or Representative Busey to join me again next session. If I want to go help him out, I mean, I have a gain or advantage because I want to see him return to the Texas House.
Yeah, that might be a little bit attenuated at that point, but a family member that you might personally benefit from them being elevated, that could rise to it. But what I will say is, believe this definition is derived from the penal code, and if that's the case, and I think that's the case, or something at least very similar to this language in the penal code, there will be case law on that does interpret this so that we do have, an outline of where we're going.
Okay, so you said that a family member, it could rise to that, to this right here, what this is referring to?
Yeah, if your spouse, I think a personal advantage or gain, either to you or to a beneficiary, I think it discusses later, any benefit to any other person in whose welfare the beneficiary has an interest. But we're talking about a personal benefit to you or someone close to you.
Personal benefit in the sense of there is some kind of exchange of some kind of benefit. I mean, for my mom, she wanted me to win. Her benefit is that she's going to be proud of me. Or I think everybody's partner on here, on this dais, their partner wants them to win their election. It's personal gain in the sense you're going to be proud of them. And you want them to win their re-election.
Yeah, no, I don't think being proud of someone.
Well, I mean, that's a gain or advantage to someone.
And I'm pretty sure case law would help us out on that.
Okay. Let's see. So, and then, okay, so if we go down to that section, subsection B, where it says, kind of lists out, those two things, and it says a benefit to any other person in whose welfare the beneficiary has an interest. Can you explain that? Just for...
Right. So this could be a situation where someone agrees to go get votes for a candidate in exchange for their partner or their son or uncle getting a job. Not them, but someone close to them. I think this is, again, going to be assisted by case law because I do believe that this is lifted out of the penal code. I've seen this before. So, yeah, benefit to any other person in whose welfare the beneficiary has an interest. It's not just a benefit for you, but somebody close to you.
So let's say that a campaign pays a campaign worker to talk to a voter about their need to, apply, the importance of voting, right? And the need to apply for a vote by mail ballot if they're eligible. Does that constitute vote harvesting services?
Not alone, no.
Okay. What if the campaign worker asks a voter to vote for their candidate, gives them the information concerning the need to apply for vote by mail? Does that constitute vote harvesting services?
That gets closer.
Yeah. If a campaign manager tells a staffer to call a list of voters older than the age of 65, presuming that some of them or most of them will vote by mail, the campaign worker complies and contacts several voters who say that they have vote by mail. The worker answers their questions about the candidate and asks the voter to vote for his candidate. Does that constitute vote harvesting services?
Clear on that?
So no.
No.
Same hypo. The interaction is in person. The ballot is not present as the interaction is occurring at the door. Does that constitute?
Clear on that?
No? Okay. All right, I think that's it for me. Thank you.